Hey guys, Mike here with Discount Forklift. Right behind me is going to be Delia, which she is a HYSTER 5,000 pound. Even though she might be an older lift, it's just proven to us that she's got a lot of experience. So these particular customers came in, they took a look at her. They actually purchased from us a couple years ago. They hit me up saying, hey, we need another forklift for one of our other locations. So they came in, we actually went through an assortment of forklifts that would work best for them. So they wanted something with obviously cushion tires, but they also needed stuff with traction. So we were able to set them up with some good tires that have some traction, such as these grooved cushions. Now this particular configuration is standard. It's got the controls here. First one raises the mast, lowers it down. This is the tilt function for the mast, forward or backward. And this is a side shift, which allows them to move the forks or the carriage completely one either direction, left or right, 7 inches. And then we actually have some lights here. We've got our mast here, which is our service sticker here. So our technicians went through this to make sure that this lift is going to be reliable for years. Safety painted forks, of course, which are painted red with yellow tips. And then the mast itself is going to be a 3-stage, which means that this thing can go up to about 20 feet while it still has kind of a low lowered height here, which is great, so it can actually get underneath quite a bit. This one, of course, is outfitted with liquid propane, so very, very common application here. Now, because this one happens to be a HYSTER, this one actually is set up with a monitrol system, so this is where you see the arrows up indicator obviously going forward, backwards. When you hit that button on that pedal, you're going to hear the backup alarm go off, and then obviously you have your brake. You have your emergency brake right here, or your parking brake. And then, of course, you have your horn, and you have a seat, which obviously a lot of these lifts, they don't have, they don't really come with good seating most of the time, so this one's actually been in fair condition, but we end up having to make it work. Now, before I jump onto this, what we include with every single lift that we sell is this goodie bag, which looks pretty good, which is going to include your forklift maintenance guide. So this will actually teach you how to keep up-to-date maintenance on this forklift, which gives you the knowledge and power to keep this thing maintained well and keep it running. We actually do have a troubleshooting guide that comes with this. So let's say, for example, very common on these forklifts, sometimes people forget to hook these up in the proper fashion, and what happens is because it's starving of fuel, it won't start. So something like that will have you go through a checklist to make sure what you're doing is correct. And then, of course, one of our Lift Hero hats. And then we also have a Lift Hero shirt, which is similar to the one that I'm wearing today. So that all comes free. Every single forklift comes with this goodie bag. So if you guys are interested and you guys want some cool swag, easiest way to do that is purchase a forklift. What I'm going to go ahead and do is jump on this, show you guys the ins and outs of how this thing moves, how it sounds, how it functions more importantly. Keep this right here. Don't need this coming off. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and put on our seat belt, which is safety first. And of course, this one feels like you're going on vacation with this kind. See, for something that's older, starts up no problem. Raise up this mast. All right, got our horn that works great. Now if I turn this far switch to the left, if I flip that on, that's actually going to turn the lights on. And then obviously if I flip them back towards this direction, it's going to turn those off. So right now, I'm going to disengage that brake, and we're just going to take it for a spin. So she will make this noise, which will go away after a couple seconds, which allows us to essentially just drive this around without that noise, which is very peaceful. So if I really give it some gas, step on the brakes. Now, obviously I want to go backwards, so I'm going to hit the back arrow, and that's where you hear that alarm. Brakes work great. And the nice thing about this one is even though this is an older lift, it really doesn't deadhead. Thanks to our technicians, they actually make that possible. They actually mess with the regulator so it doesn't have any issue with that, instead of having to restart it. All right, what I'm going to go ahead and do is square this up to my camera guy here. I'm going to show you guys a mass function. So just to double check those lights right there. Okay, now I've got this pretty much put in neutral. So if I'm going anywhere, it's not going to actually move. It allows me to control this mast. Now that'll clear up to 20 feet. I typically don't want to have to add to our overhead costs and basically tell my bosses that we need to put a new roof or new paneling in. There's your tilt function forward and backwards. That's the side shift. Okay. Now that noise is because of the pressure in the lines. Obviously this is going to be a little bit older, but that's typically what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And now one of the most important things on this forklift is obviously your data tag, which has all the information on that forklift. It's going to have your serial number. It's going to have the max lifting capacity at said heights, obviously 6 inches off the ground or even 20 feet up in the air. It's going to tell you the D rate with a side shift also attached to it, which adds a little bit of weight because of those cylinders. At least that help with that function. So that'll have all your information on there. But guys, again, thank you for your repeat business. Thank you for supporting us so we can support what you guys are doing, which, by the way, is very good because you guys actually help those that are in need with what you guys are providing with homeless people, people that want to get back on track. You guys are helping that. So thank you for what you guys do for them, and thank you for what you did for us. And in turn, we're going to set you up with something reliable that you guys will have for years to come. Thank you very much.